Is it possible to travel in an EV in southern Spain? Do they have the charging infrastructure? Today, I'm going to answer that question. Official figures state that 11% of all car purchases in August 2025 in Spain were fully electric. In Andalusia, that figure falls to 7%. I planned an 80-mile trip from Gibraltar to Benalmádena to make a video about the Parque de Paloma. So in theory, I should be able to make that on one charge, providing that I stay below 50 kilometers per hour and also that I don't have the aircon on. So I just stopped off to pee in Estepona and I've used 80% of the battery, which pretty much means I should be fine to get there as long as I can find somewhere and come back again. Anyway, hopefully I'm about halfway through my journey. So this is the app that I use. So I always stop to charge here in Bella Dorada, and there's a Burger King which has 2 chargers here, but that didn't actually work. I kept going to the next one and the next one and the next one, and it was just getting really stressful. I can't use some of them because they're Tesla chargers or it's a different type of charger. I could only use the type 2. This car charger is in the middle of a pedestrianized street. Here's the road here. So the sat nav took me to this street and then it said, oh, just walk 2 minutes to the car charger. Walk to the car charger. I was furious and it obviously wasted my battery going up there. And then I went to the next one in Marbella. First of all, there's a Repsol garage, which is here on the corner. It was broken, it was out of order. The one here, there was no charger here. I drove round and round. So some of these don't even exist. So I left Gibraltar at midday. It's now 3:15 and I've had an absolute nightmare. I just went everywhere that the app tells me to go. Either the charger's broken or there's a car just parked in the charger. My stress level's through the roof now, but it's taken me to this beautiful Gran Melia resort. I'm just going to show you behind me. If you want to drive an EV in Spain, forget it. Get that idea out of your head right now. They're not prepared, the chargers are broken, or they are not working, or there's a car parked in the car parking space for the chargers, or the charger won't connect for an unknown reason. So I've stopped at 5 or 6 chargers and the percentage of my battery is going down and down and down until I just get to the stage where my stress levels are so high. Unfortunately, when I went back to the car, things took a downturn. It had only charged a maximum of 5%. It wouldn't do any more. So there's a number on the charger which I tried to call, but I had no credit left on my SIM card. So my UK SIM card, I couldn't top up because the website was down. The Gibraltar SIM card, I couldn't top up because it was Sunday and they don't answer the phone and you can't do it online. So I had to call a friend in London who made an international call to this company and they didn't help anyway. So my stress levels were through the roof. I also had to pay 12 euros parking in this fancy hotel. So I thought rather than wasting the battery, I'm just going to drive all the way to my destination. And I had planned to go to the charger, which was right next to the park where I was going. This is Parque de la Paloma. And this is the charger here. Perfect, right? Leave the car here and go and film in the park. Guess what? That charger was broken. It wouldn't connect and there was only one. I tried this one, by the way. This is a BP charger. They only had the fast chargers, not the type 2. Wouldn't fit my car. So I went here, which is a car park. Went down there. They had 4 chargers. 2 of them were broken. I connected to one for 10 minutes and then it stopped. And then I turned it on again. It did it for 10 minutes and then it stopped. So I kept walking away to buy a drink or whatever, and then I'd look on my phone and it would say, thank you for charging, this is finished. So I went back and I tried the 3rd charger and it did work. So I finally got 99%. Then I was just able to do the return trip from Benalmádena right back down to Gibraltar and I arrived with 5%. So the issue yesterday was that I could have made the trip without charging, but that means I would have arrived in my destination with very little battery. And that means that if the charger that I was aiming for was not working, I'd need battery to go and look for another charger. So I didn't want to do that. Yesterday was over 30 degrees. I've sweated more than I've ever sweated at any time in my life. in that fancy Melia hotel. The EV charging space was between a Ferrari and another supercar. I was terrified of scratching one of those cars. The companies that run these chargers, there's normally a phone number, they're not really that helpful, I found myself. Secondly, the people in the gas stations, you can go in and ask them, but they're not connected. They don't really care, and they're not going to help you either. So the app that I was using is Electroverse. You can call them and say, or you can't call them, you can email them and ask for help. They did absolutely nothing. They did zero. They couldn't care less. So there was definitely a feeling of desperation that was creeping up on me. I nearly had no charging my car's battery at all. My phone battery was dying. I knew nobody there who could help me. I couldn't make any phone calls because I had no credit on the phone. All in all, it was the worst day, the most stressful day I've experienced since I left the UK. Do not buy an EV, okay? It's just not worth the stress. I left Gibraltar at 12 midday and I arrived at my destination at 6:30 p.m. On the positive note, I think being in this kind of situation in a foreign country, I think it's character building. I think it makes you stronger. If you can survive this, it makes you more resilient. On another positive note, I loved seeing the Melia. I'm talking about the south of Spain. It could be in Barcelona or Madrid. They have amazing charging networks. I don't know. This is just about the south. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and follow my journey relocating from the UK to Gibraltar. Any questions or comments, please put them below. Thanks for watching.